Yeah, check this out. So I had no idea about this. This was basically to kind of set this up. They did Live Aid to raise money for Ethiopia, and Bob Geldorf was one of the people who helped put that all together. And then they did the "We Are the World" song as a result of that, because they were all these musicians were in town for the Live Aid show. So that resulted in Farm Aid, which is what Willie Nelson and John Mellencamp did. And then this was kind of a follow-up to that that's a little bit less known, but it's about South Africa apartheid. So this is one of the things that caught my attention in this MTV piece that I thought was real interesting. Check this out.
The power of music blew the cover off apartheid in South Africa this year. Sun City took music one step beyond charity into politics and protest, as Steve Van Zandt brought together 53 artists to speak out against racism.
So this is really cool. First of all, it's Steve Van Zandt from Little Steven's Garage, obviously Bruce Springsteen's band, and the Sopranos, who helmed this. But he brought together all these pop artists and rap, like from rappers to like rock artists, and it's really cool.
Sun City represents one of the fundamental aspects of apartheid, that relocation policy. Every time somebody plays Sun City, they're justifying that policy.
Calling for a world of racial harmony, Van Zandt created a world of musical harmony. Sun City's participants came from rock, salsa, rap, jazz, and soul across the spectrum of popular music. The sheer scope of Sun City and his potent political message confused and frightened radio programmers, and the record was slow to receive airplay.
That's the part that I wanted to highlight. The message confused and frightened radio programmers, and the song received little airplay. If you don't think that happens today on a whole nother level with algorithms and whatnot, you're insane.
Despite that resistance, Artists United Against Apartheid have sold over 300,000 albums, and they've spoken in both the U.S. Congress and the United Nations. As 1985 drew to a close...
I'll stop there, but that was really interesting, because I had never heard of Sun City. I had heard of Live Aid. I had heard of, obviously Farm Aid and the We Are the World track, but the Sun City thing kind of got brushed to the side. So it was cool that MTV News kind of highlighted that, because I had never heard about it. And of course, now I'm going to really dig into it and maybe listen to some of the songs. But it's crazy how stuff like that gets wormholed. And I don't know how much longer after that apartheid ended, but yeah. So I've been on for quite a while now. So I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. And it's been an enjoyable morning cup of coffee with y'all. And again, if anyone's watching this, thank you so much for logging in and paying attention. And, like I said before, at this point in time, I mostly do this for the sake of being able to cut it up into clips after the fact. But it's something that I enjoy doing. And so like, I do appreciate anyone who's checking it out and who's following, liking, sharing, whatever, subscribing. I definitely, it's not lost on me. It's appreciated. Because obviously when you're doing something like this, the goal is to grow an audience, and hopefully I love interacting with y'all in the comments. If I get something wrong or you have additional context to provide, I love that. That's one of the beauties of streaming on a service like YouTube. And I'm also trying to stay within community guidelines, obviously. I don't want to lose this opportunity by just being ignorant to what the rules are and everything. But I have to admit that YouTube has been pretty fair for the most part. I've been what's the word? Pleasantly surprised by by how free the speech is. And from being able to curse, say the F word or whatever, to being able to just talk about issues that are third rail in a lot of mainstream media spaces, including platforms like Facebook and Instagram that are very censorious and will block you for all kinds of silly things, or mislabel your post as misinformation for silly things. There's not a robust debate happening on a lot of platforms. There's not a robust conversation happening on a lot of platforms. So I really do appreciate YouTube's what seems like a commitment to allowing that to happen to some degree. Now, I have heard stories from the guys at RBN, for example, about unfair levels of censorship. So I always have a healthy skepticism and an eye on that. But like I said, so far, so good for me. And I appreciate having that ability to kind of just air my views and talk about things I'm seeing and thinking. I don't think that there's anything more American with that, to kind of continue with our theme of free speech and open conversation that we've had in most of today's clips. I had a couple other things that I wanted to touch on, but I'll save them for another time because I've already been yapping for quite a while. So once again, thank y'all